predictions. Welcome to 2023. Please grab a notebook. Please take notes on your iPhone notes. You can do that if you're listening to this on YouTube. Please follow me on TikTok. That's where I break down charts for the world. And follow me on Instagram if you want to learn your chart on live and listen to current updates. Watch the stories. Thank you. Anyways, if you're new here, let's find out how do you find your birth chart. So let's begin on that sense. First, you want to go to your this website, AstroSeek. You want to use the birth chart online calculator. I like to use AstroSeek. You can use whatever website you want. I like to look at the entire chart for this purposes, okay? So when you get to this point right here, you want to put in your birth information. The place you were born at. So I was born in New York, so I'm just going to put New York. If you do not have your time of birth, that is okay. Click unknown for right now. Generate your chart. You're going to get a picture just like this, right? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to look at what is your sun sign. It's this symbol right here. It looks like a sun with a dot in it, or the circle with a dot, whatever. It's going to be focused on the sign the month you were born. So if you're a Capricorn, and the degree will explain the day you were born. So if it was the 10 degrees, would be the 1st of January. Anyways, you also want to take a look at where your moon resides. If you do not have your time of birth or a range of when you were born, it's going to give you for that day where it would have been for that specific day. So for instance, it would have been a Libra anyways. So that means you're going to know that your moon is in Libra. Those are the two things you're going to listen to. So when you listen to these readings, you want to listen to your sun sign and you want to listen to your moon sign. Now, because you do not know your time of birth, you can't really use the moon sign, right? Like as much as the sun sign, unless you know the specific time. But here's what you want to know. If you are born in the day, let's say, for instance, you knew you were born in a day, use your sun sign. If you are a man, please use your sun sign. Okay, what else? Also, the sun sign will explain your external output. So things that happen in your career will be seen in the sun sign reading. So when you listen to the sun sign, it's going to describe to you more of your career, things that you can externally view, okay? Also, this could be even your health for your sun sign. For the moon sign, it will be more internal. So for women, it's important for us to listen to our moon signs for changes in our moods. Also for women that or people that were born at night, if you're a child or if you were still under your 30s. So if you're in your 20s, definitely pay attention to your moon sign. It's more important. This will show you more home stuff, more internal battles, and more personal relationships. So your friends and your, immediate people, like family. Now, for those that do have their time of birth, which means you do have the time of birth, you're going to click unknown. Let's say you were born on 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's just say you want to put Placidus, okay? Or for instance, you want to put Placidus first. One way to view your chart, okay, is going to show you that rising sign degree. If you know the exact time of birth, that means you looked at your birth certificate, not what your mom told you. Repeat. So, for instance, let's say you are in Aries. This will be more of this reading you will listen to. The rising sign, it will help you put together things that actually happen to your body, your direct moves, okay? The actual events that are happening according to the sun. So whenever the sun focuses on these houses, it will be more accurate of a reading. So those are the things that I want to inform you of. So this is your rising sign, your first house, your ascendant, your lagna, okay? I hope that makes sense for everyone out there. Now, this is another way to view your chart, which is called the whole signs. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from this part. Okay, so now that you have your whole sign, let's say you have your time of birth, you look at your sun sign degree, you look at your moon degree, and then you look at your rising sign degree. Whichever is first, you listen to first. So if your rising sign is the largest degree, listen to that first. Then, like for instance, the moon is the second largest, you listen to that after, and then your sun sign. I hope that makes sense to the things that you've learned today. Thank you. Important dates of 2023. So you might want to write these down, put this in your calendar. These are the important dates. So starting off with Saturn, the planet of karma and time lord, will be shifting signs after being 3 years in Aquarius, will be entering Pisces March 7th, and it will be there all the way to 2025, I believe. Up next, you also want to jot down that when it goes retrograde, it will be June 17th through the November 4th of 2023. Then we're going to also experience when Jupiter enters Aries, which it already has in 2023. But in May 16th, Jupiter will end its transit in Aries and it will enter Taurus, and it will be there for 2023. So May 16th, this is important. Jupiter, the planet of joy, the belief system, the focus of the year, really, after the sun. This is the goal or the abundance or the opportunity of the year will be entering Taurus. May 16 to 2023. Around September 4th till the end of the year, it will go retrograde. Jupiter will enter retrograde in Taurus. Also, a notable date that you should also put down, it is June 1st. So June 1st is an important date for a Jupiter and the North Node in Taurus at 2 degrees. So please pay attention to that. If you have this as a main player, as a main pillar, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Okay, up next, we're going to have the eclipses. Okay, we're going to have 4 eclipses. Write down these days. One day will be April 20th. It will be an eclipse in Aries at 29 degrees. It is a new moon. Okay, and Mars will be at in Cancer then. Okay, so the next one will be a full moon on May 5th, and it will be at 14 degrees Scorpio. Okay, and it's a full moon, and Mars will be at 21 degrees. We have up in the middle of the year, it will be in October 14th. We'll have a 21 degrees Libra new moon eclipse, and Venus will be in Virgo. Okay. Also, and we'll end the eclipses for 2023 in October 28th, which will be a 5 degrees Taurus full moon eclipse, and Venus will be in Virgo. Also, notable mention will be in July 22. Well, excuse me, starting June 5th, June 5th, we'll have Venus in Leo, and all the way to October 8th, Venus will remain in Leo, which is important. It's a very long transit for a personal planet or interpersonal, whatever. Which is Venus rules relationship, money, desires, okay, women. So it's very important to know this. Also, food. Venus will also go retrograde July 22nd, okay, and it will stay retrograde till September 3rd of 2023. It will go retrograde at 28 degrees Leo. And let's see when it enters back in September. I believe it will be, let's see, since I have you here, Venus will be all the way at 12 degrees Leo. It's important. So write down these degrees so you can also look for this in your natal chart. Another notable mention is a Pluto. Not notable, it's very important. So in March 23 of 2023, Pluto will enter Aquarius, and it will go to 0 degrees all the way to May 1st. Okay, so on May 1st, Pluto will enter retrograde. Let's see what that will be, 2023. And it'll still be at 0 degrees, 21 minutes, apparently. So let me just make sure. Let's put New York, because I am in New York. Thank you for watching. Hello. Duh. So yeah, May 1st, if I'm not mistaken, let's just put May 2nd. Pluto will be retrograding back into Capricorn, and it will be there actually June 11th, okay? It will be actually in Capricorn for the rest of 2023, and it will go direct in October 10th at 27 degrees, which is an important degree. That is a Gemini degree. It will represent and it will be shown in the mercurial things in life. And then Pluto will enter Aquarius officially January 20th, 2024, which happens to also be America's inauguration day. Interesting. Thank you for listening to this. Please write down those dates. Through and whatever happens, happens. This is like the 1423 predictions. We are going to begin with Aries. He is number one, the zodiac. Aries 2023, it is a great year in summary for a lot of internal research and work, a spiritual journey, a relocation, a traveling, okay, overall this is a what you desire to build yourself by the end of the year. So as you can see, this is the last chart of the year for 2023. So I looked at the end of the year, and your north node would be in your rising, Saturn is in your 12, you know, and Jupiter is in your second at the same time. So they're all focused on what you desire to obtain, whether it's homes, whether it's cars, whether it's facing a reality of the matter. The North Node rules the 11th house. This could be an unexpected surprise that comes somewhere. The 11th house is still surprises. You know, this could be you full throttle on your purpose, on your goals, on whatever Saturn has you trying to complete. Okay, but that is a summary. So let's begin in layers. Let's start off with your career and your money. So the root. So your 10th house or Capricorn, Aries Sun and rising, especially Capricorn, or excuse me, Saturn definitely determines what's going on in your career during the year. So Saturn's transits, retrogrades are also very important. Like for instance, Saturn will be retrograding June 17th to November 4th. In your charts, that would be from when the sun is transiting in your third to all the way in your eighth house. So from a very long time for that time. Aries rising and sun, okay? So what's Saturn in the ruler of the 10th and the 11th is going into the 12th. It seeks isolation. It seeks time to focus on careers that are creative, careers that are about investigative things, careers that are about being isolated. You could be an officer, you could be working in the healthcare industry or the service industry somehow, or you could be an officer of the law somehow. Saturn in this 12th house is making you see some type of career different way, especially. Like, for instance, if you've been seeking titles or status all your life, by now, Saturn in the 12th house will change your perspective in life, in your career, okay, in your name, something legally, you know. This could be some type of status, especially because the Sagittarius house for your Pisces placement will be the ninth house. Remember that by the end of this transit in 2025, they will be going to build this ninth house. So the ninth house is about travel for you. The ninth house is about legalities. So if you are going to court cases, immigration cases, any type of even marriage, you know, things with your name, obviously, things that you have to do with the government, you know, trying to take a class or a skill, becoming a supervisor, your perspective on God and life, obviously, will be completed by then, okay? So, career wise, though, Jupiter after May, specifically, May is going to be a great time, okay? Because after May, Jupiter will be trining your 10th house and your 6th house. So that could be more hours, more opportunities. You know, this could be a new side hustle. Remember, Uranus is bringing something from your future. 11th house. You've been working on some projects, some things with your friends. These hobbies could make you money. They could become an actual a theme. You never know. It could be from babysitting, playing sports, to finally maybe you could do it as a community event, right? Uranus has been introducing you some new things, some new hobbies, some new desires, some new and innovative things to make you feel good, some self worth. And it could be attached to friends, depending on how your Venus is in your chart. You can make this into a potential money. So, especially between July into October, when the eclipses happen, because the nodes, of course, will be switching after July 21st, right? But it will be getting previews before that, right? So when it's in this second house, the North Node, you could get excited. You could get these random opportunities. The North Node rules the 11th house of some unexpected change, some unexpected events with the family, with something you do with friends, something you desire to acquire, something that you want to do online. Again, this could be, this could also be you learning, you having fun. Jupiter is more joy. Okay, so don't be surprised. But Jupiter in the second house does bring a lot of more opportunities to make more money. Your bosses are more pleased. It's a better time for you to get these hours. The first half is like you're preparing yourself, the first half of the year. So from January into May season, you could, get your strength back. Set up these plays that are upcoming. Okay, you might be introduced to these plays, and then eventually, by the time is in the summertime, these things get done. Okay, so that is your career. Health wise, you will have a Mercury retrograde happening in your sixth house, so that'll be happening sometime between August 23rd to September 15th. Again, it's going to be happening in your sixth house of work, of your routines. Mercury usually rules your conversations with people, important paperwork. The sixth house are karmic situations as well with siblings. This could be a change of your routine. So please do pay attention. I don't know if I said that already, but thanks. Okay, so money is good, right? Venus is getting, depending on how your Venus is, you're getting eclipsed. All these things are happening. July 20, it could be a thing you start now and it comes into fruition later, okay? The North Node will make you more ambitious, anyways. So keep that in mind. Another money situation would be around July 23rd. Okay, starting from when the sun is transiting in your emotional state or your fourth house of home to September 3rd. Excuse me, to September 4th. So from July to September, that is a time where Venus, the planet of your seventh house of contracts and your second house of family and money and resources, is in the fifth house of lovers, of actions that you have to take. Whether it's actions at home, actions with children, or important hobbies or lovers in your life, depending on how your sun is in on the chart, will definitely determine how you use this Venus. It is going to be retrograde. It will be there earlier though. I will put that in the the little signs that you see popping up here and there. Okay, so I hope you utilize that time wisely, money wise. Potential time to invest into some money. Maybe, again, retrogrades are nothing wrong with that. Just know that retrogrades do come to an end. So don't be afraid if you have to do something then. Okay, even matter of fact, you can set up something now if you know the timeline. Again, is from July to September 4th. Now let's go into your relationships really quickly. Again, Venus does rule your seventh house and your second house, so your money and your self worth is attached to these relationships that you do have. Okay, your nodes will switch again on July 21st. The nodes will be switching around in summertime, where the north node will be more into your first house of self, and the south node of letting go will be in the seventh house. So this could be for people that are K2 people. Maybe you do are supposed to be with a past life lover, somebody you're familiar with or in tune with spiritually. K2 is a spiritual planet anyways. The North Node has you acquiring your desires. Maybe you are too involved a lot into your own things that you want, things that you have to get done, crisis or, whatever events occur. But do know that at some point in October, Mars will be entering your seventh house of Libra with the South Node, which is you going towards a partner. It could be an old partner. Venus will be still in Leo at that time. I think so, yes, because it'll get out of Leo around October 8th and then it'll enter Virgo. So you would have to make a decision, especially make up your mind on what you're going to do next with your partner if you are in a relationship with someone. So if you are in a relationship, Aries placement, like I said, this could be some K2 things. This could be negative things. You could be letting go of a relationship. Positive things could be there some complete changes that you have to let go in the house of partnerships. Maybe certain routines, excuse me, maybe certain money situations. Maybe your partners are in a projects and they're very busy into their own life and you have to focus on yours or vice versa. Okay, so just remember that, especially when Venus goes retrograde between July 23rd to September 4th, especially those born at late of April 18, 19, 17, and then again those born early April. They would definitely feel this Venus. The Venus does affect their money, whether it's investing in, whether it's spending it. It does go into things that are you desire to acquire. So just want to let you know, some people do have children. Some people are connected more to their partner's side of the family. K2 is the eighth house coming into the seventh house. Okay. And another thing is for single Aries, you will have the North Node. You will go towards someone that you find in tune to you. You will try new things. The North Node is the 11th house. You're going to feel a different change there, a different taste to your palate, okay? Because Uranus is in your second house. You wouldn't mind trying different people, different cultures, different cycles with people. So just hang in there, especially if you in the summertime is a good time for you, Aries, sun and moon, and even rising sign, as well as October for relationships. So when the nodes switch, pay attention to that timeline. Those are a good time. Okay. Let's see. We covered everything. I believe so. I hope that makes any sense. If you need any more information, I will be putting this on Patreon and we'll be updating it throughout the year. As I do readings and learn more, I will be updating you all throughout the year. So it's like getting a long reading from me. Written one, obviously. Up next, we're going into Taurus. Okay. 2023 predictions. I am your host, Shady Shirls. This is my millionth time trying this. So let's try it. I figured out the sauce to this. It's like an artwork, so we're gonna do it. Hope you're hanging in there. You can pause it all you want. I can't. Anyways. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk about Taurus in your 2023 predictions. So first, let's look at your career house. Taurus, sun, moon, and rising. You want to first take a look at what degree you got going on. Like we talked about, look, this is the forecast for December 31st, 2023. And as you can see, our time lord, Saturn, only gets up to 3 degrees. So you want to look at your ascending line if you have your time of birth, or your sun sign. If it's nowhere near 3 degrees, doesn't mean it's coming, but it's nowhere near you yet. So you still got time to work on these things, okay? So make sure to take a look at that. That way you don't start planning and yelling at me like, Shirley, you said this was going to happen. No, I did not. So Saturn is in Saturn definitely rules your career or your how life is looking like at work, okay? So Saturn is going to move into your 11th house of friends, your gains, strangers, the internet, achieving one of your biggest goals, devoting yourself into your what you feel that you are deserving of. If you notice, Taurus, Pisces is in the 11th house. Even if you're not a Taurus rising, you're a sun in Taurus, which means that Pisces is still 11 signs away from you, which means that your wildest dreams, because Pisces is dreams, is in the 11th house of gain, meaning that you can gain your wildest dream. You are like one of the luckiest few that could do that, you know? So I'd be happy if I were you. Mind you, it's an Aquarius, so it's going to fit the future. So that means there's two co-rulers. We got Saturn, the traditional ruler, and then we have Uranus, the modern ruler. The modern ruler brings, like I said, that futuristic vibe and is in your self house, self discovery, body, if you're rising, or innovation, if it's your sun. In the if your moon is in Taurus, this could be some creative adventures that you do with friends or on the internet. This is all due to you initiating it. You have to cause this. You have to get this Uranus to give it to you. Okay. Now, Saturn being in the 11th house for you, he's going to be there for 3 years. Like I said, it's only going up to 3 degrees, really seven. You're going to see a lot of you that have 7 degrees. You will feel it, but it'll retrograde backwards. And when it goes into, sorry, we want to make sure that we're in the right place. Yeah. So when Saturn goes into your 11th house, again, is going to oppose your 5th house as well in your next 3 years, especially if you're a Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising that have a child or is dating people. Your dating life will be challenged. Your children will be challenged, whether it's their health, whether it's other outside circumstances. I don't wish that upon you, but I need you to be realistic, and I need you to know that Saturn will be challenging that at some point. So if you have any Virgo placements too, Sun, Moon, or Rising in Taurus, you want to look at that degree so you'll know when it gets closer to that, those will be those themes that'll pop up. Okay. So that'll be the 5th house. So the 5th house is your passions. So Saturn is focusing on you, on your goals, challenging your passions, right? Or your hobby or what you went to school for. The 5th house is what you went to school for. You know? So some of you are actually like, fuck it, let me really go back to my school, or let me really learn, or let me really sharpen this tool that I got going on. Saturn will accomplish your Sagittarius house, which is your 8th house. That's why Pisces is not that fucking great. I'm sorry. Pisces, or excuse me, not Pisces. Jupiter is not that great only because of the fact that it rules your 8th house. So it comes with a crisis. So when Jupiter switches signs, then May 16th to, to Jupiter in your first house. So it'll be in your 12th house into your first house. It can bring these unexpected surprises somewhere. So what's the 8th house? Finances, other people's debt, your partner's family if you're in a relationship, your partner's money, right? If you're in a relationship, or anything that's like outside of your reach, like whatever your Jupiter also is innately in the chart. This is the sign for Jupiter. It will look at the house that it sits in. So if your Jupiter's in the 6th, it will bring those 6th house themes with it. Okay, if it's in the 8th house, it will bring it in there. The 8th house is the house of clients. So if you're working on a goal online, internet, right, you will achieve these clients. If you're working on expanding your type of business that you have, whatever industry you're in, you're putting yourself out there. Saturn rules your 9th house and your 10th house, right? These two houses are, not only is one a public image, so how you look. Saturn rules how you look, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. How your career looks, Sun and Taurus. How your family outcomes or results how your family led you, what path they led you. Okay, who's sorry, moon and Taurus. Okay, so the ninth house is advertising, legal system, things with your name on it, with the government, especially going to school, relocating. Saturn is helping that gain. Okay, immigration, anything that has to do with the ninth house. If you're listening, cross listening. If your Taurus person is waiting for some type of legal paperwork, trying to sign out of the government or out of the shackles of the military, the Saturn is in the 11th house. You're gonna gain. Your best example is Megan the Stallion. She's a Taurus rising. So if she wins, you win. You know, the 10th house means that there's a progression into your career, some sort, or an idea of yours, or how your public image looks. So if in the last year you did surgery, now everybody's looking at it like, oh shit, you look good finally with your fat ass. No, no, sorry, I'm playing. I'm just playing with y'all. Okay, so overall, remember that during this timeline, it's gonna keep building the Sagittarius house. Only your Jupiter will help you figure out what that is. Neptune, right? Neptune is the co-ruler, or the modern ruler of Sagittarius. And Neptune has been messing up your 11th house, or the 11th sign away from you, sun, moon, right? So these are the social external circumstances. Sorry, that sounded kind of crazy. What does that mean? Strangers, or working outside for some of you. I've spoken to some Tauruses. They've been working outside. They have interactions with strangers. Their elder siblings has been very active in their life. Or like I have a Taurus rising sibling. Her elder siblings all fucked up. Okay, and that Saturn is coming to clean up that house. So your interactions with your friends, your interactions with the internet world, or your worldly views on things, your worldly, like the 11th house is what you think about the world, like the status of the world, the trending things of the world. So if you want to, like I said, I also have more information that I will continuously be updating in on Patreon, especially if are you hyper worried about your career. Okay, but your career seems very cool, and very, it'll flow much easier than anything else this year. Taurus, sun, moon, or rising. Okay, career seems to be, or achieving these goals, more goals with the outer world. Okay, so if you've been trying to outsource some type of anything, that is better than, building with a partnership. It might be challenging your intimacy life while you're in there. So yeah, I'm gonna leave your, basically career wise, it seems to be a good year for you. Oh, so we're gonna work on that, okay? Your health house, because apparently it seems to be doing just fine. I'm gonna touch up on money and health, okay? So your money is your Mercury. Mercury really rules your money, Taurus's placements, Taurus, whatever. So the transits of Mercury are very important, especially when it goes into retrogrades. So this year is going to go into retrograde in your earth signs. One of them is going to be the first half of the year could be things, legal stuff, court stuff, things about your career or work, things that has to get done like the DNV and official tissue things. That's the first half of the year. When it comes into April 21st to May 15th, Taurus, what is it? April is going to be, it's gonna be in your first house for those that are Taurus rising. It's gonna be going over your sun, sun in Taurus, over your moon, moon in Taurus, and at the time Venus will be in Gemini. So this isn't an old money situation could come back to you, an old something familiar comes back to you, because since Venus is sitting two signs away from you, or the second house is about money and family, especially also self care. So sprinkle that up in there for you, you know. And then you'll have another retrograde at the end around August 23rd, so to September 15th, which that will be going to, the first one is going to happen when the sun is transiting out of your 12th house into your first house. So that'll be in April to May, right? Which could feel like you're having a new rebirth, or like there could be some type of crisis that pops up around that time. Also, because around that time it'll be the eclipses that are already happening in your first house. So health wise, This could be already things that are, uh, you know, already happening. So let's say you already been losing weight or you already got a surgery because the North Node has been eclipsing here with Uranus. So, you could have been more active. You could have on Uranus does rule accidents. So please be aware and be conscious of that, Tauruses. Okay. But at that time, Venus will transition around May. So those are very critical times because Jupiter. Jupiter is your eighth house of crisis, other people's drama, surgeries. Is transiting. So that could be a time where you have to pay attention. Um, okay. So that is a time to look out for. Also, for your health, Tauruses, Sun, Moon, and Rising, the nodes are gonna switch. You see that the nodes are gonna be into your sixth house, and Venus is gonna be in your eighth house around the end of the year. Especially Venus, there's gonna be a retrograde, so Venus is gonna be retrograding as well between July 23rd. So when the sun is transiting over your third house of communication, associates, and siblings at 28 degrees. So those born between the 18th and the 19th of May would feel this all the way to September 4th, which would be the sun transiting into your fifth house. So from those 3 months, Venus will be retrograding and it's in the lower region of your chart. Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising. These could be home stuff, family stuff, having you in motion or traveling or talking to more people in your family. Venus is your body, so you could be home more, bedridden. Venus is retrograding backwards in Leo, depending on how your sun is set up, or if your sun is in Taurus. This could be time off from work or working from home. Okay, Venus is the ruler of your sixth house or your health. Taurus is Sun, Moon, or Rising. Venus really affects your health because obviously, duh. But I hope that makes sense and you pay attention to that timeline. Again, July 23rd to September 4th. Those are things that you want to also pay attention to. Another timeline that I do want you to know, because it's kind of around the same place or energy, is when Jupiter goes into retrograde, because Jupiter is going to go into retrograde September 4th. Again, it'll be right around that timeline when the sun is transiting 5 signs away from you or in your fifth house, Taurus, Sun, Moon, or Rising, which could be your kids or your project, or your, whatever work you've been focusing on. Because Saturn, again, this is a time that Saturn's pressure will be felt, especially late August, early September. So Jupiter will go retrograde September 4th at 15 degrees. So those born by like May 9th to all the way back to April 22nd. September is going to, Jupiter's going to be retrograding from September 4th, right? All the way to December. Okay. So those really feeling it is early born Tauruses. So I do want you to make sure you understand that, because Jupiter actually, like I said, it affects the other people in your life, like literally everyone else. Like, if you already have a pending trauma or karma or whatever the fuck has been going on all year long with your in-laws, step family, if you've had insurance problem, if you've had taxes, your business is closing down, you're reopening. Jupiter's transits are very important, especially at this late timeline of the year from September to 8th. Retrograding could be an internal review, or maybe you go extra harder around that time. It depends on your individual charts, obviously. So let's talk about your relationships. Mars rules your relationships, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if you're a Sun in Taurus and you're listening to this, obviously Mars rules the associates. People you meet in the streets, they're meeting your Sun, they're meeting your Rising. Okay? So Mars determines that. Now Mars will get out of retrograde in a couple of days, thank God, and it'll travel all around your chart. You see, as you can see, it ends in Sagittarius for the year. It starts in your second house in the early, right now, January, and it'll end in your eighth house, which is not bad. It just basically means there's progression either in the inner world for your partners, those that are in a relationship, or there's progression with the family because it starts with the family and it kind of focuses a lot on that. At some point in October, Mars will be in Libra with the South Node. Again, the South Node was eclipsing you. So the South Node is about letting go or getting in tune with somebody who is spiritually in your same mindset. So you've been getting eclipsed there since 2021. It's ending around April of this year, April 21st, right? And around when the sun is in your 12th house. So this could be some type of rebirth. You know, Jupiter is coming into this lost house. So necessarily, maybe your partner has dealt with a loss or they're dealing with some finances or courts or legal battles or health battles. Those are, you know what I'm talking about. Or family situations, or there might just be working a lot. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting. So if you've been feeling detached or stepping away from your partner, that could be a theme. But around October, I do want to let you know, cross watchers and everybody's watching, Mars is the ruler of your 7th house. It's coming into the 6th. Mars is the ruler of the 12th house, where the North Node, this obsessive energy is in. Okay, and Jupiter will be in the 1st house, which makes you more secretive or, looking within, researching, right? This could be you cheating. I don't know. Tell me if you cheating. If you's a I'm funny as hell. If you is a Taurus that is cheating, tell a sister and a friend. Why the 6th house is the blind spot to your partners. This is in October, bitch. This is a couple years from now. So if you're listening to this now and you don't come for me in the chat. I don't care. Yes, love you. Okay, so yeah, that is my theme for you. If you're a single Taurus, right? You're getting this North Node in the 12th house of secret. Well, this is actually a secret relationship. The 8th house ruler is the secret relationship. The 12th house ruler, it could be a relationship from the past, or it could be one of the relationships of your dreams, because you're searching. North Node is an obsessive energy that's looking for it. Or you could be on some creative, spiritual mode right now, healing, right? You're looking for some type of healing love. Okay, depending on how your Mercury's set up. There's some type of wound. Maybe you need solace or solitude away from people. Jupiter in the 1st is you're giving joy to yourself. Maybe this could be a year. It looks like a better year for you, Taurus, for career and self-renovation and body changes. Honestly, relationships are where you're supposed to kind of be letting go or detaching yourself from. So it makes sense because Saturn is a bigger fish and he's in your top horizon. He will have you focus on the bigger picture. By either way. So if you are single, shout out to that. Also, it depends if different things for different folks. Again, if you have a Mars in Scorpio, Libra, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, some Pisces, different story. You may be dating people. They come in and out. You may find someone. Always pay attention to your earth sign energy. So when the sun is in Capricorn or in Virgo season, so January, September, good time for you to find mates. June is also a good time for you to find a mate. Okay. Even November. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I will be putting the rest of these predictions. I'm going to finish the rest of the predictions. Thank God. Okay, so overall, the North Node will switch and you'll get out of this hectic energy by the end of the year. Like I said, the North Node will have you craving release or freedom from all detachments of work and mundane routine. I had this. When I had this, I focused on spirituality a lot. The 12th house is the internet in a sense because it's open markets. Some of you go long distance travel, relocations. You might get really popping on the internet because this is what the North Node wants for you. And Jupiter makes you still a teacher, a crisis teacher, whatever. Anyways, I hope that makes sense. Follow Patreon if you want any more information. I will be updating it throughout the year when I do readings on people. Yay.